I don't care about the championship. I don't care about having 10 championships or more championships I already have. I'm just going to ride hard. That's it. Don't care about the rest of it.
Mat Mladin will walk away with the right to say I was the fastest guy in morning practice. His time 1:23.322. There are still riders on the course.
Maybe some of the other final rounds where the weather was kind of bad, especially when championships are on the line. But, you know, typically here in September, the weather's perfect as it is. Basically, the whole season builds up to this point, and you have a perfect venue at the last round to express yourself in motorcycle.
How does it feel to have the final race decide the championship for the Superbike Series? Do you think that's a good thing for the sport?
Oh yeah, it's incredible that it comes down to the last race, and Laguna Seca is a top-notch track with that's held a Grand Prix. I don't think that track conditions will get in the way. It'll make for a really good race, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Here at Daytona, a ride-through penalty could spell your race because it's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit now, and it's a long way from pit in to pit out. Visors go down, bikes go in gear. When it goes to one, light go to green, we're racing at Daytona.
Problems in the horseshoe. One rider off, two riders down. Yates and hacking, it looks like.
We were looking pretty good, actually. We were starting off, and I thought we worked up to a decent race pace, and unfortunately the race came to an end in a pretty big way for us in the first two turns. So, it was a pretty disappointing start to the season. With both the Monster Energy Kawasaki's going out in the race, we didn't look too good.
We had won the Superstock race the day before, so I kind of had some pressure off me of just winning there because I'd never won there.
And it looks like Mladin's going to slide past Spies and take over second place.
So I kind of was a little bit nervous. It was Daytona. People are always wondering if I'm going to crash myself away again this year.
Oh, who's that? That's not Roger, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Man.
Going into turn one on that lap, the tyre was very, very greasy up front, very squirmy and small vibration. And then around the banking, the next lap, the vibration got bigger, and then that halfway through the next lap, I tucked the front. That was it. So I essentially overheated a front and threw chunks out of front tyre 4 laps into a race.
We were expecting this race to be exciting, but nothing like this.
In a way, Daytona set up the year for the way that I wanted to race anyway, and that was just to go hard and win. And after Daytona, Ben had a pretty decent points lead, and the only way to get back to where he was just to win. So, you know, it really set up the season for the way that I wanted to race the season anyway.
3 laps to go, the front tire basically came apart, and I'd pull into the pits because the bike wouldn't, you know, I wasn't safe. Didn't feel comfortable trying to stay out on the tire. You know, in the end, huge letdown, but to me and the team, it was already a tremendous victory. So we just walked out of there with you know, basically we had the best possible Daytona we could have almost.
Ben Spies ended the season with the #1 plate and the points lead.
And it was good, you know, never showing up to Daytona, getting, you know, 2 poles and 2 wins.
Yeah, who's going to win the Superbike race tomorrow? Do you have any idea?
Team Suzuki.
Sure?
I'm sure.
This sport should be even bigger than NASCAR. You know, because it's so much better. I mean, really, it's so much more exciting than NASCAR. You know, at least you don't have to make only just a left turn. You know what I mean? But that's what's the beauty about the sport. It's almost like the 21st century, you know, gladiator. You know, it's awesome.
You came back to Superbike racing with a new bike and a new team and all of those kinds of things. Tell us just a little bit about how that all came to pass.
Well, there was a couple of years that we want to come back to the race, but we was with the right moment, the right situation with the right bike. So last year we was in mind to bring in another model, and there was test a little bit, and then we see that was pretty good. So we decided to come back to race.
You want to win more than anybody else, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know, you can win that you did win. So the intention is good, but to do it is a little bit different.
I hadn't ridden in a couple weeks, so it was, you know, just trying to get all the cobwebs knocked out and all that kind of stuff. So got qualified this afternoon. Hopefully we can put a couple good lap times in and maybe get on the pole.
How are things going between these guys from your perspective?
Definitely. I mean, it's been tight. They go back and forth during the sessions and during the races and pretty much throughout the whole year, testing and everything. So, you know, it's no different today. They're definitely pushing each other and making each other step up. So, you know, that's kind of the same thing they're doing, and I'm sure it'll continue all weekend till the checkered flag.
It's AMA Superbikes from Barber. When it goes green, it's on.
Most of the people after 2006 had decided that, you know, Mat Mladin was finished.
This really is an example of the master and the apprentice. The apprentice does have a very big championship on his resume. Last year's Superbike title.
You know, Ben won the championship, and you know, but they also forgot that I won the last 5 races of 2006. At Barber, I felt really good on the bike. I was doing what I wanted to do, and that was ride hard every lap, and the lap time showed that. Personally, you know, from what I remember in that race and from what I've seen later on tape, I think Ben was hanging on. I don't think he was in charge of the race by any stretch of the imagination. I think he was hanging on.
It wasn't that I couldn't pass him, I really couldn't get an opportunity to get up in there to make the pass. I think we were both just riding really good, and he wasn't making any mistakes, and neither was I, but I just couldn't get that little kick to get up in there and make the pass.
He gets the double head win for Yoshimura Suzuki. Mladin wins both races at Barber Motorsports Park in dominant style.
After that close of a race, he was obviously pumped up, and when we came out of the first corner, I pulled up to the inside of him to congratulate him, and he let go with his hand on the handlebar and kept turning, and we actually bumped. And I don't know if he thought I actually intentionally bumped him or if he, swerved over into me, which he did. But a whole lot of fans have been asking me to give it back tenfold to him for that, but that's Matt.
That race at Barber right there was, well, okay, if it's time to turn it up and beat Mat Mladin, then turn it up and beat him, and you didn't.
Matt's riding really good right now and got under the track record that we set last time here, so it's going to be a tough weekend, but I think we can do it.
Hi, I'm Mat Mladin, Team Yoshimura Suzuki. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix, and it's great to see Suzuki running so well, and if they had a good rider like me on it, they'd probably be winning. That work, Kev? I said it's good that Suzukis are running so well, but if they had good riders on them like me, then we'd be winning. They'd be okay with that.
Whoa, look at this. As Bostrom dips underneath Mladin. And Mladin fading just a little bit. Bostrom coming alive.
Race 1 at Fontana. I knew that we had the best package we had to date.
If Bostrom can hold the position, he certainly has a lot of confidence.
About 2/10 is the official margin as they come by the start. Boom, Mladin. Little squirrely there, but boy, did he get through there quick. Looks to the inside.
What happened? I wasn't in race mode.
Knifes underneath Bostrom, and Freddie, I don't think Eric had any concept that was going to happen. He closed up from a big distance back.
To be honest with you, I wasn't overly concerned, and I don't mean that in any way, take anything away from Eric. Do I think Eric's capable of racing and doing very well? Yeah, sure, but we'd seen what was going on in practice and in testing, and we didn't believe that he was going to be there anyway, at the end of the race or at the end of the year or whatever.
Real knife under the armor was just seeing the pace that Ben and Matt could sustain. That was disturbing for the whole team because we had made such an improvement where we were running half-second lap, sometimes three-quarter-second lap faster than we had on Saturday. And they were running sometimes close to a second and a half faster than they had ran on Saturday in the race. And it's such a huge jump only to get slapped in the face that they could do it even better.
Ooh, Ben ran wide. What a move!
Oh, man. Oh, God, they're so late. Both of them. That was good. Did you see that pass?
Mladin looking for the counter move. He picks up a little momentum, swings to the outside.
Fontana 2 was the only race that, right now that I look back and kick myself for not, giving him the boot or making a really hard pass, because that would have been about, 4 or 5 extra points.
Now up into the dog leg. Does Spies have enough? He looks to the inside, Freddie. Not quite.
Just one of those deals, he ran into problems, but he found a way to keep it out front. He was braking extremely late, and I couldn't make a run or get around him. And he knew with the problems he had, if we got around him, he had no chance, and we knew that too, but I just couldn't get around him.
Very close. Mladin, is going to protect. It's a drag race to the line. Mladin!
And that's the only race right now that I'm still upset about, that I didn't do something a little more aggressive and get it done.
After the race, everyone's like, oh, God, you've won, congratulations. I'm like, oh. I think I've won 50-something races and 6 championships already before this race. I don't know if it's surprising to you guys, but it certainly wasn't surprising to me,
Listen to that crowd.
They've got, wanted to let you know there's a start box. That is the place you need to do practice starts. That is the only place to do practice starts. If you happen to get on the podium tomorrow, just a reminder, they're riders only are allowed up on the podium. No crew, no other people are allowed up there. Just the riders.
You better get used to that. Look at that.
Hey, Ben, how's it going, man?
It's going okay, not great.
Excited? Oh, yeah, come on, you'll do it. Think positive.
So we're going back out at 3:50. So
are you?
that's basically what I have to do is, if I get pole, if I qualify first, then on tomorrow, all I have to do is win. And if I don't qualify pole today, I have to lead the most laps tomorrow and win. So I'm gonna try to get pole today. So all I have to do is win, but it's gonna be close. It's great, real close.
You'll do it. Good luck, man.
It'll be tough. He already broke the track record this morning, so Matt, he was 3/10 quicker than me, which isn't much. So it's gonna be close. I had kind of, I don't know, I almost had like a little head cold. I felt real cloudy when I was riding. Didn't feel too good. When you're not completely there going that fast, it's like, wow.
Well, good luck, man.
Yeah.
Time for Superbike racing from Infineon. Let's get it on.
Mladin got the jump on the field. And that is not what Ben Spies and the rest of the pack wanted to see.
Yeah, it was very, very convincing weekend for us.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Matt doesn't just sleep in his leathers and his helmet tonight all ready to go. I mean, he has got the race face on for this weekend.
I thought everything was fine. I just kind of locked up the front brake on the brakes, and by the time I got it back under control, I was in way too hot. Just one of those deals, just ran off the track and regrouped and brought it back in second. Wasn't much we could do that race.
Ben Spies makes the pass on Yates to go into second position.
I believe it was probably on about lap 18 or something, or he had an off-track excursion in turn 1, just ran a little bit wide and onto the grass and came back on. It wasn't like he lost 20 seconds, but he definitely lost a fair bit of time that lap. And I think the lead went from about 3 or 4 seconds out to about 10 or 11 seconds on that one lap. That was it. That race was over.
Oh, and Raj.
Oh, man.
He needs to get off, obviously, off the racing line.
Oh, Aaron Yates.
Man. Chain came off.
The next question is, when does it fall off again?
That's right.
Sonoma was a little bit like Fontana. The first day, we were able to run good times in the beginning, and I believe we fell off on the times there towards the end of the race. And day 2 was finding a little bit more grip later into the race, and we were able to accomplish that to bring home our second podium of the year. We ended up 3rd, had a great battle for the podium there.
Hayden, the rider from nearby Paso Robles, California, will finish third in front of the home crowd. Mat Mladin has made a huge statement here this weekend. He came in here with full purpose of decimating the field. He did it yesterday. He's closed the points gap up. He's going to tie it here today. And Mat Mladin has made the statement, as if he hadn't already this year, he is here to play. Mat Mladin on his way with the front wheel in the air to another win.
It's hard to explain, but for me, that race on Sunday was a turning point for me to understand that, you know, there's more gears there that Mat Mladin can find. And, you know, I certainly found one that weekend.
The existing official track record of 123.407 has been beaten by Mat Mladin at a 23.3.
I got my daughter. Look good to come with you. Thank you very much. Look good.
Drives into the pit, having earned the single pole point, the provisional narrow margin. I think a great battle will win the Saturday. Ben Spies, Mladin, and Yates on the front row.
It could go either way really easy. I mean, it's so close, and those guys are so close that, you know, one little mistake here or, you know, a bad start for one of them, I mean, it's just going to come down to really small things. So, you know, I think they both have a legitimate chance. Matt's kind of on a roll right now, has a little momentum on his side, but you come into a track that he's, you know, not as strong at as he has been at some other tracks throughout the last couple years.
How do you like having it at this particular track for the final round?
Yeah, that's fine. Wherever. Racetrack's a racetrack.
Is it good for the fans, you think, have the final race to decide the points championship?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously it gives them something to come here and watch.
Got a little playing card there, or what? What is that?
Oh, it's kind of cute, but...
Qualifying was really, you know, a great part of this weekend. These guys are coming into the race 3 points away, so this is 1 point. There's 5 points available tomorrow, again, if they finish first or second. So very exciting, and I think the race will be very exciting between those two guys tomorrow.
We're ready to go race it here at Superbikes from Road America.
And the first thing Ben Spies has to deal with is turn 1, a corner he had trouble with yesterday, Freddie, and look, he's in the lead.
Well, what can you say? Greg talked about that he hit his head, but he knows that he needed to get a good start. His adrenaline is pumping, and his right thigh could be bothering him, but we'll have to see over these next 2 or 3 laps.
Here they come up the hill. Now drafting comes into play here, and here comes Mladin right alongside his Yoshimura Suzuki teammate. And here's Mat Mladin charging up the hill to the checkered flag and his 3rd win in a row. Sweeping the weekend in Infineon and picking up round 8 here at Road America. The gap between Mladin and Spies, 3.1 seconds at the checkers as we go back to the fight for 3rd. Now, can Tommy Hayden get anything happening on the draft? Here he comes, up the hill, right alongside Duhamel, and it is a Suzuki party at the podium. Getting set to go back to green here at Road America. To turn 1 they go. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Aaron Yates on the Jordan Suzuki.
You got to pass now for the lead.
Mat Mladin inside at turn 5.
But that race on Sunday, I was pretty happy with that race. I mean, that racetrack is not a nice racetrack in the rain from the sense of, okay, yeah, there's a few spots on the racetrack that are a bit dangerous, but it's a very slippery racetrack.
Oh, and down goes the MV. Mat Mladin is down, and I believe is that Miguel?
For him, this is a great day. Oh,
down goes Tommy.
And look at the bike.
Definitely a frustrating crash. Was actually feeling really good that weekend, and coming off the podium the day before would have been, a really solid weekend.
The reigning champ has been down on the pavement twice, the second time brutally hard, and he has ridden with such courage this weekend.
On the second start, just rode hard and set some good laps, and was searching everywhere on every straightaway for as much water as I could, trying to cool the tires down.
Up the hill, and what could be going through his mind after such a crazy weekend? Ben Spies rides the rear wheel up the hill and wins race number 2 here at Road America to take over the points lead from Mat Mladin, who should finish 3rd as they come across the line.
Matt had just taken over the points lead Saturday and was leading on Sunday, and then we took it back. So that was a good race for us.
I think it's really awesome, for the fans, the people that are really keeping up with it and into it. It's definitely, creating an exciting weekend. I'm pretty excited about it myself. It's coming down to the last race out here, last 28 laps, decided champion. I mean, I'm not in the championship running, but I know the two guys that are, and it's gonna be it's neat.
Be neat to see some other people up there, some other racers besides Ben and Matt, but you got to hats off to them. Those guys are pushing the limits on each other, and they're pushing each other really hard. So I think that right now they're up front because they're pushing each other the hardest, and no one else has stepped it up yet. Can you complain? I mean, it's last to the second. That's what you wait all year for. Last lap, come down to 0.2 seconds. Last, that's all it is right there. Last second. It's worth every minute.
Who's got what it takes into turn one? We're getting ready to find out.
Looked like another iffy launch by Mladin. He just didn't get away that strongly.
You can't give away that type of time and expect to race somebody who's got as much talent as Ben has. So, you know, that's why the disappointment in the starts. I do enjoy the challenge of trying to catch back up though.
Mladin now starting to just heap the pressure on teammate Tommy Hayden here, and ducks underneath, got it done. One more turn, that bank final corner they call release onto the long front straight. Winds that throttle open, and he brings the Yosh Suzuki to yet another win. Ben Spies. See the celebration by the crew, loving that moment. Race 2 here at Miller Motorsports Park. That time it looked like Spies had the little hiccup. And from the second row to the outside, a blinder looked like by 22. Tommy Hayden, and he may just take the lead. He does, and does by a couple of lengths, Freddie. What a start.
Leading a few laps and getting to see Matt and Ben there for a little bit longer than usual, I felt was good to try to learn. So, you know, that definitely felt good and helped my confidence.
Lap and a half to go.
Oh, Mat Mladin is down, folks.
The lap that I crashed, I was going down the front straight, and I spoke to myself. I said, all right, man, let's get your shit together. And took a couple of deep breaths and entered turn one. And okay, I said, okay, it's a new race. Let's start now and let's go. And I got into turn one and just was okay. I just opened it up too much. That's it. You know, I just got overzealous and just got into it too hard.
The lap before he crashed, he almost crashed in that same corner. But the camera wasn't on him, and I could see he was definitely riding. And then the next lap, we just pulled it to right under a second, and all of a sudden he's in the air in front of me, and I'm like, wow, that was a big crash.
Probably a good few minutes after the crash, I'm like, oh, they've stopped the race. You know, and I'm like, oh, okay, they've stopped the race, and they put me there, and all of a sudden things are like, yeah, hang on a second, I can maybe get back in this thing, and then I'm like, I can't ride a spare bike, so it was a pretty decent crash, and I could hear the bike, like, you know, things are going, you know, I'm like, geez, I think I'm going to be able to fix this thing. It was pretty ruined, you know, and that's even if they get it back there in time. So I'm in the ambulance and I'm sitting up, and I get up off the thing and I sit up and I said, oh, lay down. No, listen, I'm fine. Things are starting to come around. So they opened the back of the ambulance door and I took off straight out the back of the door, and I was gone. They're like, thanks guys, I'll catch you later.
And they're really trying to get this motorcycle back on the racetrack. The rules here are you have a backup bike in Superbike, but after the race goes 2 laps, you can't re-enter the race on your backup motorcycle. Mat Mladin is in. He's in the garage right now. He's looking at his leathers, and I asked him if he wanted to make a comment, and he's saying no right now. And you just heard it, the motorcycle fired up. Whoop, throttle stuck there.
He's going to get back out there and get an opportunity. The key is anything can happen. As you could see, he was leading the race, looked like everything was going okay, and had a crash.
Starting from the front row, good for him. Let's see what Jake Zepke can do. Oh, and James Ellison jumps the start. He'll be in for a ride-through penalty, but we're off and running.
Got 3.5 laps to go.
And Matt got through.
Yes, that's right. Mat Mladin now has gotten around his teammate for 3rd position.
The biggest surprise I had the whole race was when that gap was starting to come down. I saw 66 on my board, and I'm thinking, wow, Matt's all the way up to 3rd, you know, and I knew that he'd be coming strong. And I was like, wow, this is going to be a long race, because that was right when I was having troubles with my clutch.
Here's Ben Spies coming up to take the win. He knows what he's achieved. Look at the pump. Zemke is second. Here comes Duhamel. Can he hold on? Mladin giving it everything. But it is Duhamel to the box. Mladin, though, an unbelievable drive to fourth. And look at Matt, nicely done.
Well, you know, everybody's fighting to beat the Yoshimura Suzuki team. We finished in front of most all the factory teams for the last half of the season here. And, you know, we're right there, been finishing third and fourth. And the Suzuki team, they're a little bit ahead of us in a few areas. And, you know, we're working on that for next year. Hopefully we can get some better electronics and stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, the game has kind of turned into an electrical game out here, you know, like everything else. And, you know, you got to go for every little advantage you can get to be competitive. And, you know, right now we don't have any kind of traction control on my bike, and it's not holding us up too much. But there's a couple areas that I think, you know, there's some other parts of that electrical stuff that could, you know, make us go faster around the track.
You guys nervous?
I'm on everything on the line.
As a privateer, what changes are you looking forward to maybe even out the field for you guys just a bit?
I think it'd be great if you really can't do much to the motor. And also I'd like to see a stock ECU where they're handed out, you know, on Wednesday or Thursday whenever you get to the track. And I like that whole rule where you're not allowed to do anything unless the rule says you can. Nothing but stock sensors, and that's it. And that's going to be a big change right there. No traction control. The privateers just don't have $2 million to sit there and hire all these extra people to try to keep it up. We're doing this for the future of the sport. We're not doing it so we can play, you know, who's going to win. It's for the future, and it's all about the fans. You've got to focus on the fans and entertaining people first.
Would be good for the sport so it's not just these two guys winning every race all the time. Is there anything that can be done, or is that good, or what? What's your opinion?
Well, it's good for Suzuki and good for Matt and good for Ben. You know, why would you just try to discredit them when they're just kicking ass? You know, it's up to everyone else to try to step up their program. If they can't do it, then let those guys kick everyone's ass and sort out the rest of the places.
Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca, let's get it on!
Boy, not the start Mladin was looking for. I think he's in 7th.
There's got to be a way to stop doing these, to stop getting these bad starts.
They don't get that straightened out in a hurry. That could be the story of this championship before it's over.
Mentally, I was a bit deflated at that point. I'm like, you know, I'm riding around in second place. I've got to go up front there, turn similar lap times.
Ben Spies continues to lead by about 4.5 seconds over Mat Mladin. Eric Bostrom and Aaron Yates and Neil Hudson all running in the top 5.
That weekend was, you know, it was a good weekend. That was the first time in a while that I've been able to just ride one bike.
Ben Spies making his way off the final corner. The checkered flag will wait, and a huge victory as the reigning champ wins at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Mat Mladin comes across the line. Here's the battle for third. Down the hill comes Yates with Duhamel right on it. The last shot for Miguel will be under the brakes in 11. He stays to the outside, trying to get a better drive up the corner. Who's going to get the run? To the checkered flag, it's Aaron Yates, and Michael Jordan wanted his rider on the podium, and he got it.
Michael Jordan in the excitement, Aaron Yates pulled it off for him.
It was a real good weekend for us, for the Jordan Suzuki team. You know, getting to third place was the first for them in the Superbike class, and you know, it was big.
I'm over it. I'm sick of these starts. I couldn't be bothered with it anymore. I'm finished.
The 6-time U.S. Superbike champion going up against the reigning Superbike champion Ben Spies. It's a 2-point gap between Mladin and Spies. Spies cut it by 1 point yesterday by claiming the pole. But again, there's still more points up for grabs during the race today. Mat Mladin here coming into this final race here, a chance to make it number 7.
Yeah, there is. It's a good day. Look forward to the race at 3 o'clock.
You're going to be back here again next year. It'd be nice to end up with more titles than anyone else. You're kind of tied right now. Mat Mladin has just been such a force. How do you maintain that edge, dude?
I think I already have more titles than anybody else, so I have 6, I think. So, yeah.
All right, have a good ride today, man. Mat Mladin.
There's a great showdown in both the Superbike class and the 600 class, so I think everyone's going to get their money's worth. And it you know, for you, for me, everyone is like curious to see how's this thing going to pan out, and it's going to be a high drama.
It's time to go racing once again, Mid-Ohio.
I wasn't happy with myself. I felt like taking myself in the toilet with some big guy and having him beat the crap out of me, to be honest with you, because it's not acceptable to be in my position as a racer and have starts like that. Anyway, so I was pretty fired up by the time I got back out there for the next one.
Boy, again, Mat Mladin not with the greatest of starts, but this time instead of 7th, he's 4th, and those 3 positions can make a huge difference.
I seen Ben up front. I think I had Eric and Aaron maybe in front of me. I'm like, these guys, I'm going to dispose of these guys here now, straight away.
Well, this is the place where he made the pass the lap before on Jamie Hacking, and he was able to make the pass on Eric Bostrom, same place. Now he's got a clear track.
You know, after the red flag, Matt come unglued. You know, I don't know what he did. I have no clue what he did. I mean, I looked over at turn 1 to make sure my guys weren't screwing with me on my pit board. And I seen him back there, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I don't know how he just did that, but he did.
The checkered flag goes to Mat Mladin. He takes the win, and he'll close up the points on Ben Spies, who takes 2nd.
I kicked it up a gear, and you know, like Infineon, I found another gear that day at Ohio, and you know, to this point, it's carried me through a long way. I definitely found another gear. I found something that in myself that day that I had never found before.
And he's done it all weekend. He struggled with some difficult starts, but once he got rolling, he's put his head down, and he's raced very hard. He's going to come out of Mid-Ohio, closing the gap by 6 points and picking up 2 AMA Superbike wins.
Really a toss-up. I'd hate to really put my money either way. I think it's going to come down to the last lap.
Certainly the fans are got to be happy about the way this year's gone. It's been a very close season, and you know, everything coming down here to the last race, it should be fun.
How does it feel to come down to the wire here in the very last race of the season and have a championship in line?
Well, I'd rather have about a 30-point lead, but you know, this is how racing is, and this is what it's all about. So whoever wins the title definitely is going to deserve it and be happy Sunday night.
How does it feel to have a 3-point spread final race?
Oh, mate, it's not something I'm really thinking about, to be honest with you. Whatever, just try and win the race, and that's it. Ben and myself are going to hang it out, try and win the race, see what happens.
Those 2 guys are pushing each other to the limits, and they got a good bike, 2 good riders. And I mean, when you see them out there in practice, they're not just, you know, riding around cruising. I mean, they're out there giving it all it's got. So that makes it hard. Like I said, I mean, they're 2 good riders. They're pushing each other to their own limits. So it's making it, it's a big challenge for us.
Two guys riding hard up front, certainly the pace of this championship this year has been upped. There's no doubt about that. That purely comes down to two people pushing each other to the limit.
It's hard to match the consistency that Ben and Matt have right now. And unfortunately, we really haven't been able to match their pace. So it's been a little bit of an eye-opener, I think, for myself and the whole team.
For the 60th time in his career, Mat Mladin will win an AMA Superbike race. He wins number 60 here at Virginia International Raceway. A perfect weekend here at Virginia International Raceway, and Superbike career victory number 61 for all number 66. Yates puts the Jordan Suzuki on the podium after signing up for another season of competition with the team.
I'm definitely rooting for Spies, so we'll see. Should be good. I got Ben Spies. I like Ben Spies. He's a nice guy, real sincere, really friendly with everybody, and you know, he's a cool guy. I like Ben, so I hope Ben wins it. You know, if Matt wins it, my hat's off to him. You got to give him the W if he does it. You know, Matt's a tiger and he's going after it.
Ben Spies comes out of turn 1 in first with the number 1. Matt tucked right in the slipstream. Here he comes, looking inside as Spies going into 1. Change for the lead.
You're braking at 30 feet, going 120, you're not going to stop too much. And ran off in the grass, you know, went through the gravel and just barely tipped it over. That wasn't a big crash at all, so that was just frustrating because, you know, after that, every time you reach for the brakes, your mind's kind of like, are they going to be there? Because I'm riding 100% right now, and if you miss your brake marker by 20 foot, at the pace, you know, me and Matt are riding, you're not making the corner. There's no way.
There he is, the number 66 on the right side of your screen as we get set to go back to green. Round 17 getting back underway here at Road Atlanta. Oh, but look at this. Getting the jump is Eric Bostrom.
He's about 5 seconds down, not very close to Matt.
You know, I rode 100% both races, and I, you know, wasn't left the track smiling, not upset at all, just because I couldn't do anything different.
And Mat Mladin applies the pressure some more to Ben Spies. Down the hill through turn 12, and Mat Mladin wins round 17 here at Road Atlanta.
I rode as hard as I could. The bike worked good, and everything was, you know, or even if the bike didn't work that great, if I rode it as hard as I could, then, you know, I can't be mad with anything.
Heightening right now, revs go up, bikes in gear. It's time to get it on at Road Atlanta. It's the AMA Superbike Series.
And talking to Ben this morning, he said, you know, this is really a great racetrack for Mat Mladin here at Road Atlanta.
What can you say about the job that Mat Mladin has done so far this year? And it's great to see him on the grid. Guy who's won 6 championships, and he's having more fun now than ever.
Mat Mladin takes the win here at Road Atlanta and the points lead towards his 7th AMA Superbike Championship. Ben Spies will finish second.
it's going to be a good last race, and this is how championships should be won, because whoever's going to win the title is going to be the most ecstatic they've ever been.
I'll be totally honest with you, I've come to Laguna Seca this weekend with full intent to win this race.
Today it is a winner-take-all one-race situation.
See who wins the 2007 Superbike Series right now.
That scenario before, and now Ben Spies has only Mat Mladin up front to race with.
Mat Mladin is opening up a gap on Ben Spies. And let's see what it is at the line. 1.072 seconds. Oh, here he comes. Yep. And Dominic Jones is right in front of him. Spies tries to split him. Can't get it done, but Mladin goes wide and Spies got it back. Spies takes the lead.
And this is where the pole point makes all the difference, because if Mat Mladin would have got that pole point, he could afford to have gotten second place now, because they would have been tied but he would have won the championship by having the most race victories.
Wow, Freddie, 2.5 seconds. It's getting bigger and bigger every lap. Battle for third brewing here. It's Aaron Yates on the Jordan Suzuki number 20. Oh, and look at this. Inside goes Yates at turn 3. And he puts the Jordan Suzuki into a podium position once again. The final corner of the 2007 season, and Ben Spies has done it. He has weathered the Mat Mladin hurricane, and he has won the AMA Superbike Championship for the second time.
Mat Mladin, second place today, second in the championship, but an amazing year. You had so many race wins, great pole positions. We get your helmet off here. Tell me a little bit about the race.
Mate, I just didn't have it today, you know. Early on in the race, I thought we were okay, and then we started sliding around about halfway through the race, and just couldn't keep up. So, congratulations to Ben. He deserves a championship this year, and we'll come back next year and give it another shot.
It's great.
It's awesome.
Feel good?
Yeah, we got 2 of them this year.
Tension off now.
Tension off.
I think that's enough for the weekend, yeah? That's enough for the weekend.
What's that?
That's enough for the weekend.